So we have here Dr. David Stevens from Harvard Medical.
Yes, thank you for having me on. Thank you.
The neurology department.
Neurology department, and also I'm a part of the psychoanalytic department as well.
Also, you founded the spiritual forensics department.
I am also a part of spiritual forensics. That is true. Thank you.
Okay.
You know, we just realized that this is podcast number 8, and our listeners deserve something special.
Yeah.
So this is that special gift.
That's why I thank you guys for inviting me on and allowing me to conduct this very special experiment that will be very beneficial to this university of which I'm a part.
I think overall, this is not only going to be groundbreaking, and
it's going to
be a first, you know, for podcasts or Well, we're the only podcast, but for podcasts, but it's also, I think, going to change the world,
and it's going to pay for the Berkeley football team for at least the next 5 years.
Yeah,
go Bears!
And I think it'll be cummy.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't come to that, but we'll see.
Okay. So I think we should just explain briefly what we're going to do, what Pat and I are going to do. But there is a psychoactive substance called ayahuasca.
There is.
And Dr. Stevens is going to administer this to one of us.
Yes.
And why don't you tell us about that? Why?
Well,
why
actually, the ayahuasca has been condensed into a capsule form. Mm-hmm. And one of the capsules will have the psychoactive properties of ayahuasca, and the other will be a placebo.
Okay.
Interesting.
Now, it will all be at random who gets which capsule. But I'm trying to observe the effects of the drug, and also if whether one of you two will act high, even though you're not high.
Okay.
The element of the control in this experiment. It's interesting.
Okay.
So, in other words, you're both in the dark, and neither of you know who has taken the ayahuasca.
So only one of us is going to actually transcend into nirvana, into another plane.
Nirvana,
of
possibly, but you can also have a bad trip where you are in a dank pit fighting vipers. I'm sorry, I find that so funny. I've actually had a trip like that.
I didn't think you were laughing. It's very humid in here, and I thought it was just a weird cough.
It's a ayahuasca cough. The remnants.
If you see the glowing eyes of snakes who will you harm, please don't be alarmed and try to ride it out.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to you, Brian. I'm a little scared, and you know, I am very interested in and actually honored that we're taking I'm taking part in this experiment, Dr. Stevens. But I've actually never experienced a drug experience in my life, so I'm looking forward to it. But I am a little scared.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's novel for all of us, the whole experience.
One small step for us, a larger step for
everyone
else
listening.
Especially for the guy who gets high.
Yeah, because it's fun.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hand out the capsules. Bryant.
Okay, thank you.
And Patrick.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Now, Pat, I wanted to ask you real quick. What? Oh, you're already taking yours? Oh,
okay, he's already taking his.
Should I chew this or should I swallow it?
Yes, you're welcome to bite it.
Okay. And doctor, what is the advent of the symptoms in your estimation?
It takes under a minute.
Under a minute.
And it starts to snowball into cascading waves of fear. I'm sorry, I find this so humorous.
I'm coughing. I'm actually not laughing. It's very humid in here.
I have trouble swallowing capsules.
Yeah.
So
I have a problem
Now you,
swallowing capsules.
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 Now, do either of you feel any effects?
Well,
No, I'm good.
I'm seeing the same amount of demons I usually see.
Okay.
So
That's
really.
actually not in my wheelhouse. You'd have to go to maybe a clergyman to talk about that.
I want to ask you, Pat, real quick. What are our objectives here? Why are we taking the ayahuasca journey?
Well, I believe when we first spoke about this, we were we were searching for something, and I believe you called it the Akashic Records.
Yeah, we want to find the history of the universe, basically.
Oh yes.
So yeah, I think finding the history of the universe would be good for like other people, because that would be like really important for like our civilizations.
But the thing is, so much has been done already that this is just.
By the way, guys, are
Either of you experiencing any of these effects associated with the
ayahuasca high?
well, I haven't seen any snakes.
But there's
6 fingers.
on every.
wall?
Well, I do feel closer to
The astral plane.
Does that like sound similar to
To like what should be happening.
Do either of you see a noble shaman
With a
feather headdress?
No, I mean,
like what does he look like?
Well, he should be with a
jaguar companion.
telling you to ride an eagle to a volcano, where you will learn the truth to all life's answers.
Hey Pat, you hear a flute or like a shaker?
I need to listen harder. I hear it. Everybody shut up. I want to listen to this.
Hey, is it normal to have a boner?
Is it normal to have a purple eagle between your legs?
Well,
I never thought of it that way.
is his name Dan?
His name is
Quetzalcoatl.
Zolalu.
Oh, well, this must be a different purple eagle.
I just knew him by Jack once long ago.
Hey, I don't know if anything's happening to me. Like, I just kind of feel like I'm in an alternate universe, and my skin is plaid.
And it's perfectly normal.
Well, isn't everything normal, man? If you think about it.
Yeah. Everything is normal.
Well, if you think about it, everything's kind of like.
It's interesting that both subjects seem to be exhibiting the symptoms of being on the drug.
Brian, those glasses. Have you ever thought about how many little grains of sand are in front of your eyes? At all times. In front of your eyes.
It's beautiful.
Hey, Pat, were you always made of cum?
What? What are you talking about? Brian, you must be the one that is on the drug.
Hey, you see those filing cabinets over there?
the truth is one of you is not on the drug.
Hey, you think those cabinets over there, those are the records?
Those are the files.
Hey, I think I'm gonna go check them out. I hear a flute in the distance. I think I'm gonna follow it.
Walk closer, walk closer.
That's right. Walk into the light, Brian.
They're in order of importance. I open them.
Hey, it kind of looks like some old tax records.
You don't see Cortez and a Spanish flotilla.
Oh wait, that's behind it. Sorry.
Okay.
Bryant, there's a sheen of electricity coming off of you at the moment.
My anus really hurts.
I'm not sure if that's related.
Bryant.
Okay.
Bryant,
I just found the like JFK files.
the Jupiter Frankfurt collection.
Dude, LBJ didn't kill him. He didn't kill Marilyn either.
Yeah, it was actually Joe DiMaggio.
How'd you know?
He was jealous.
Wait, you didn't take it.
Doc, why?
Why is Bryant acting how he is?
I don't know. I've only had my degrees for a little while.
Doc, you gotta bring down Bryant. He's becoming a fascist of time, of history, in his record keeping.
Well, guys, I actually gave you a very special dose, one of you, of this ayahuasca blend. Its effects actually wear off in about the amount of time that that has elapsed. So I would like to conclude by saying neither of you were on ayahuasca.
But
So I normally see flying diamondback snakes in the sky.
Well, that's exactly the nature of the experiment. How much are we willing to want to see when we want to see it?
And where is this flute coming from?
Doc, I gotta be honest with you. I still hear the flute too. Why is that?
Well, it's all in our heads.
Is Percy Shelley involved in some way?
He often is, or she often is. I don't know who that is.
It's a little bit of both.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for allowing me to conduct this experiment. And I think we're all very impressed by the results. Thank you for inviting me on.
May God have mercy on our souls.
In the air tonight, on, you'll be in my heart. Oh, think twice, just another day in this paradise. Sledgehammer. Oh, three-part harmony. Think twice.
Whew. Man, that was... I can't believe we survived that whole experience.
But we're stronger and more in love for it.
Sort of wiser. But Steve wiser.
Steve Weiser. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And we'd like to actually thank Dr. Stevens and the whole faculty at Berkeley. They were just so nice to us, inviting us over for that tea in the garden. That was wonderful. So we'd like to thank Dr. Stevens, but as an added bonus, we'd like to welcome someone that you may be familiar with.
He's a podcast favorite. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, it's Owen. Thank you for having me on again. Very nice of you. I actually didn't get to catch the doctor and his experiment, but I hope that it went well.
I was really hoping it was Gene from Calabasas.
You know, it's a shame that we have to miss these great moments, like that time that I was in the Congo, and I missed that great podcast with you and Sheldon and Owen.
Was Sheldon?
Sheldon.
You know, I actually heard that the doctor wasn't a doctor at all. He was unlicensed, and he was a junkie. And I saw him shooting up. reading
right around the house.
Junkie by William Burroughs.
Wait, so
Yes.
you were here?
Well, I mean, I got to see him. I didn't get to take part, but I saw him breeze by.
Oh.
He saw him while he was walking out.
Yeah. And he shot up really quick.
With
So he didn't strike me as a professional at all, or even as someone who would know what he was talking about.
he was actually shooting up sandalwood.
Which is tough on the veins.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
too tough.
Oh, would you like to talk about that crazy Russian drug you heard about?
Oh yeah, I was watching. It was actually a Vice
It's
documentary.
called Crocodile.
Yeah, Crocodile. But apparently, Russia has the worst heroin problem in the world, and they came up with it's like the meth of heroin. You know, it's like this new variation of shootable drug, and apparently, it turns your skin scaly like a crocodile
Yikes.
after you shoot it up.
It turns you into a reptilian.
Well,
Oof, man.
only temporarily, because then you decay as if you were dead and your limbs fall off.
And is the high similar to heroin?
Well, it's supposed to be more intense.
and
What is more intense than heroin?
Crocodile.
I guess it's inevitable that there's going to be a higher intensity than
Yeah.
heroin. But is your membership into the Illuminati guaranteed upon shooting up, or is it after?
I think there's
After proof of injection.
I think after injection you fell out of form.
Well, I heard the Rothschilds and Rockefellers are longtime users of Crocodile.
Yeah, and the reptilians in the fourth dimension actually.
Yeah. And those families are immune to the effects of Crocodile because they've been on it so long, and they are superhuman, as we all know, because they've been bred to be better than us.
And it's very American of them to make sure that it hits Russia first.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's our way of since before the Cold War, we're trying to take care of all those commies.
This is the bigger picture.
Yeah, basically. But going back to that documentary, it's incredibly neurologically damaging, and there are these guys, these two kids they interviewed, and
I think they were Boris and Sergei.
yeah, Boris and Sergei, Yuri, Yuri Jr.,
Yuri and Yuri Jr.
but
affair.
I think they only used the drug for a month and a half or 2 months, and they're already like vegetables.
Wow.
And you can't
nasty.
turn it around, and they're just done. But they're showing pictures of people who I guess used it for it was less than a year, but their body parts literally would be falling off as if they're a zombie. It literally looks
Wow.
like you're watching The Walking Dead, and their body parts are falling off.
Gosh.
Yeah.
It sounds like they got it's like a injectable staph infection or something.
Pretty much.
you-
It's pretty bomb.
MRSA.
You spend the remainder of your days as a vegetable? I mean, can you even move?
Yeah, but not well. You move like a zombie. Basically, it gives you MS. It just gives you a neurological problem.
Yeah.
It basically just scrambles your brain.
And later on in the documentary, did you find out that it was Bryan Cranston who gave
Yeah.
the drugs to them?
Yeah.
Or, no, Bryan Cranstonov.
Yeah. And then they listened to the Brian Jonestown Massacre, which is actually really...
John Masterkoff. Yeah, John Masterkoff. That's truly terrible.
But yeah, I can't believe we survived, Pat.
Yeah, well, it was through the power of friendship.
Yeah,
We
well,
did.
you guys weren't on Crocodile. You were on ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard neither of you were on ayahuasca.
That's a rumor.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I was going down this tube that I think was like another astral plane. So, I don't know. But that's happened before.
But in lieu of all this new information we have about the doctor, it's hard to say if we were or were not.
Maybe he gave us
actually high.
crocodile.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's
I
entirely
didn't get to
possible.
see him up close. Was the doctor Bryan Cranston?
He could have been.
He could have been.
Yeah, I was reading somewhere, it was like IMDb or Wikipedia, that he actually changed his name from Dr. David Stevens to Bryan Cranston.
A cough.
His first name was actually Doctor.
These parents these days name their kids crazy names. Doctor.
It must be, it's like an Eagle Rock thing.
Yeah, it is an Eagle Rock thing.
By the way, what is it like working in Eagle Rock, Pat?
It's actually it's a nice community that has that kind of Trader Joe style family, and then the really disgusting hipster dudes that just roam the streets by the 7-Eleven.
Patrick, do you consider yourself to be a hipster?
No, I don't, and I honestly I never have, but I'm sure some people have.
What do you think of the skinniness of Bryant's jeans?
It's an attractive
Do you think
trait.
it verges on hipsterdom?
Well, I actually discussed this with my friend Kevin once, that I think there's an actual weight class for hipsterdom. It's probably flyweight, somewhere in that general vicinity.
So you're suggesting there's no such thing as an overweight hipster?
yeah, definitely.
But what if you
Wait, there's
possess
no
the,
such thing as an overweight hipster?
Yeah, I was going to say, what if you possess the characteristics of a hipster?
Well, they're more. If you're an overweight hipster, you're probably the equivalent of Kimbo Slice. You're not an actual hipster, but you play one on YouTube.
Well, I think maybe it also depends on how many records you own from like indie pop
Yeah.
or like Matador records.
How many times you've stood outside the Echoplex smoking?
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
Let's not talk about hipsters. This is
yeah,
boring.
this is really a
And also-
saturated market.
Yeah,
you know?
and also, like, there's not enough people from LA and Portland listening anyways, so what does it matter?
Mm-mm. And they're too busy eating some shitty vegan meal. to even
Especially
listen
since
to
we
us.
have, like, we're global. We have so many listeners from all over the
Yeah,
place.
we have to appeal to a larger
I mean, there are
base.
hipsters in India, in Russia, for instance.
Yeah.
On Crocodile.
Yeah. Well, Crocodile's, like, the big thing.
Yeah, among hipsters.
Mm.
Yeah, they listen to, what's his name? The guy who plays acoustic guitar and he croons really softly. Bon Iver.
Oh, yeah.
Bon
They listen to Bon
He
Iver
does,
and
like,
shoot Crocodile.
Devendra Banhart, is he in there
Yes.
too?
Well, I don't know. He might be uncool now. These guys
Yeah,
have
is
a
he
shelf
still
life.
cool?
He's as cool as Crocodile, which is totally 10 minutes ago.
Wait, what replaced Crocodile?
Crocodile 2.
Crocodose.
Crocodose. Get a double dose of Crocodose.
Man, I'm trying to think of that other group that all they do is croon and they play trumpets. We saw them at FYF. They suck. And they're really boring.
Mumford and Sons?
No, but they suck too.
They're pretty big right now.
They are big.
Necessarily
Yeah.
among hipsters, or are they more crossover appeal, regular pop?
I've definitely heard some very regular families talk about
Yeah.
them, so I think they have a little bit of a crossover.
Yeah, but
appeal.
those are Eagle Rock families.
No, like Westchester families, which is on the west side.
I would say in some ways, who really kind of inaugurated the hipster zeitgeist would be those guys who dress like the Amish from Canada. Who were they again? Remember?
Arcade Fire?
Yeah, Arcade Fire. Don't you think they started a lot of it?
No.
Or not necessarily?
Velvet Underground.
No.
I'd say they were pretty high on that hierarchy as well.
Yeah, but if you're allied with Andy Warhol, you're kind of automatically cool, don't you think? I mean,
So they say.
you can't call them uncool. They had Andy Warhol for a manager.
They invented cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Arcade Fire really launched anything.
Other than a trend to wear overalls.
Weren't Interpol doing that too?
No, I think it was suspenders.
Or suspenders, you're right. Yeah. But
Yeah.
they do kind of look like Amish.
Yeah, they have this kind of communal,
Mhm.
weird family,
Yeah.
incestuous thing.
Can we
Or
talk-
maybe they would say Mennonite.
Perhaps.
Can we talk about good music?
Yeah, let's do.
Man.
I actually have a question about that, not to give away too much. but there's a lightning round question for either of you.
I actually have
I'm not going to say who.
question about music.
Really?
myself, yeah.
Okay.
Man, I was so busy manning the controls that I only wrote down 3 things for a lightning round. Can I have that cardboard? I can write while we're talking here. Try to get a few more here.
Definitely.
You actually want to write some right now on air?
Yeah.
So that's just leaving Owen and I on an island together.
No, I mean like I'm still participating.
Do you remember that segment of Spin Magazine called Desert Island Discs? Did you ever used to read that?
Yeah.
And
What are your desert island discs?
ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, as in what would you take to a desert?
Yeah.
Like
Do you get 10 of them or 5?
I think it was 10.
Okay.
Like, and there would be some really bad albums on there, but I guess it's a subjective thing. But
Right. So they would just ask every editor, every writer what they thought?
It wasn't even an editor. I think it was just people would write in and give their 10 Desert Island discs.
would you have Bon Iver?
I'm sure.
Well, I know you would have Love on there.
Oh yeah, definitely Love.
DeCrapo?
I would have
yeah.
Ani DeFranco. That's who I would
Oh,
have.
you would?
No, not at all. No, but I would have Todd Rundgren. I gotta
which album?
have Something Anything. And let's see, what was the even more psychedelic one? A Wizard, a True Star.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have a Wizard, a True Star.
Definitely.
And let's see, what else?
What if you only
I would
had
say
B.B.
Michael
Boyle?
Jackson's Thriller. You gotta have Thriller.
Yeah. I guess if you're gonna have a dance party on that island, you gotta have a dance album.
Yeah. And since I'm such a nerd about them, probably Cameo. But maybe Best Of, even though that makes me seem less cool, because you're not supposed to do Best Ofs, right? You're
Yeah.
supposed to fully explore their catalog.
Yeah, you're supposed to, make it a little harder on yourself and just pick the artifact, the one album.
I
or whatever.
don't think people listen to albums anymore though.
Yeah?
Or like it's I think less people listen to albums.
Yeah.
They just get singles or they
Yeah.
just listen to a single over and over again on
But
the internet and just
I
get
think-
the MP3.
I think that's been around, because
Well, yeah, because they have single vinyls.
yeah, in the
Um,
50s and
yeah.
60s, it was just the single, and then you read about bands like Led Zeppelin and that whole genre
Well, I
of
think-
album-oriented rock.
I guess
you know.
people have sucked forever.
Yeah. There's always those really bad album
And by
trends.
suck, I mean beautiful, and I love all of you.
Would you want anything from the Hives?
I do like every single Hives album, but I guess I'd only have to take one, just because
It's funny that you would take like really high adrenaline music with you on a desert island experience.
Yeah, well, if
It's
you're
like
gonna be
here
alone,
you are marooned on an island and you're listening to this music that's intended to pump you up.
Yeah. Well, you
So
got
that you bang that coconut.
to survive.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how else I would survive. I couldn't survive listening to Leonard Cohen. In fact, I would probably do the opposite.
Daniel Johnston.
Yeah. Even though I do like Daniel Johnston over Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen is more romantic though. He talks
And
about love.
So that would be
Or
even less
lost
of a
love.
reason to. Well, yeah, okay, lots of
like
love.
Elliott Smith.
Yeah. I'd rather have
Bum
Elliott
out.
Smith.
Yeah.
Because if you're taking a Love album, like not the band Love, but an album that is more oriented thematically towards love, I would think that would be the worst possible choice for a Desert Island disc, just because there's no chance for love when you're all alone.
I think for Lou Reed solo, I would do not Transformer, but Coney Island Baby.
Yeah, that's
I
a
prefer
good
that one. I think that one's my top.
I do like Transformer.
And I actually like the debut right after he broke from Velvet Underground
yeah,
when he did
he was still in that mode.
his first solo. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, and you don't really hear too many people talk about it.
And then of course Lulu. I would
Lulu.
bring that.
Oh.
I think that would be the only album I bring.
Lulu would be the flotation device.
I don't even need 10 CDs. I would just bring Lulu. That's it.
That's enough music for.
And you would kill yourself maybe the next day?
He would just use Lulu to kill himself. The actual disc.
He would actually fish out a stingray from the ocean and stab himself with it.
You guys are saying this because Lulu's bad? I don't get it.
Yeah.
We're saying it ironically.
You're not computing.
Yeah, I don't understand.
How about you, Brian? You would want
I'm
Kevin Shields. What's his name?
My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I need. Well, actually, the listeners don't know, but I pretty much have the same albums I've talked about for the past long time. But it would be like You're Living All Over Me, Dinosaur Jr., Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, probably like maybe Ram from Paul McCartney.
That'd be a good one.
Let's see. Indigo Girls.
Would you
Pet Shop Boys.
would you want to
Cocteau Twins.
Cocteau Twins.
How about this? Would you want to bring a beach-centric album?
Oh.
Thematically themed beach-centric album to
I wish they all
Desert
could be
Island?
California girls.
Yeah, I was thinking Beach Boys, but Pet Sounds isn't really about the beach, really.
I really like the soundtrack to Endless Summer by The Sandals.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to play that vinyl all the time.
It'd be an endless something. Maybe not summer, but...
Yeah. Do you want to remind yourself that it's endless? It's a little discouraging, isn't it?
Well, I'm already loveless.
Or comforting, I guess, if you're in that mindset.
What, that you want the experience to be endless?
I guess. There's some people like that want that isolation.
Mm-hmm.
A nice beachfront view.
How about, what is it? Son, the Father, and Holy Ghost by John Coltrane.
Whoa.
You just listen to
If you want to make yourself go crazy.
Yeah, you're going down a shame spiral.
Mm-hmm.
You just have that beach hut and then
Or,
listen to that album.
Outer Space by Ornette Coleman. You just listen to just disorienting. It sounds like us.
Oh, you like
Playing-
Sun Ra?
Sun Ra. I was going to
Would you
mention
listen to
Sun
Sun
Ra.
Ra?
That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
What if you just hear a space flute? That's all you hear when you're
or Jandek. Are you familiar with Jandek?
Mm-mm.
Jandek, he's this kind of enigmatic figure that no one really knows too much about.
Yeah.
But he's one of those...
Kind of like Scott Walker?
Yeah, but he's a whisper acoustic player, but he uses all these really strange tunings that I guess he made up. But he has like 30 albums and he's like a god in independent music
Have
circles.
you heard the latest Scott Walker material?
No, I haven't.
It's ridiculous.
Really?
It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
He does this kind of falsetto opera voice, and the tempos are really slow. And he goes...
Did we just acquire
And then you
a
hear,
single?
like, someone's pounding trash can lids, and all these incidentals and weird effects. And you're just in a haunted house with Scott Walker.
Wow.
You know what sounds similar is the new Scott Stapp.
He's going off on guard.
Yeah. It's the new Scott Weiland also.
Oh, the Scots.
Yeah.
Scott Stapp and Scott Weiland.
Yeah.
The duet.
Just an echo.
And Scottie Pippen also.
Yeah.
He does need the money, I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I guess we've explored the issue of Desert Island picks.
We did.
Yeah. Bryant, any more questions you've written down for the lightning round?
Only like 2 more. I think I only have 6, and I usually have the most. I usually have like 35 or something, 30 or something.
Okay. Well, you just want to go with a shorter list and
We have,
well, you guys can go first, and I can keep writing while talking.
but I demand your full attention for my questions.
Well, since I devise questions that are custom tailored to each one of
that's
you,
right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can just focus on you, Patrick, while Bryant writes questions.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Lightning round.
Okay.
Mr. Patrick,
I'm going to put on my
Here we
long-winded
go.
voice right now.
tell me when you're ready. And
I am ready.
1, 2, 3. Laverne or Shirley?
A lost TV show that is lost to everyone, including
No, not
me.
Laverne and Shirley. Laverne or Shirley.
Oh, Laverne or Shirley. I can't really picture them in my mind enough to pick. So neither.
Israel, special or just another country?
I guess it depends on who you ask, but I would say special to me and to you.
Music, getting better or worse?
It's always been bad or it's always been terrible and wonderful. So I'd say both.
That's such a cop-out. Would you ever want a man cave?
No, I think just that name, it kind of disgusts me.
Would you ever want the equivalent to a man cave without ever referring to it as a man cave?
Ooh, is that really a question, or did you add that?
No, I just added that.
Okay. Maybe. A place to put...
Would it just be a study full of the old classics?
Maybe. And then maybe a pool table.
Okay.
Everyone has to have a pool table in one of those things, right?
Right. Free to bed?
There's so many bad jokes that have been made on account of that phrase, but I'll say yes. Let's free to bed.
That is so controversial of you.
Yeah.
Have you ever had sexy thoughts about a cartoon character?
Yes.
Who?
You.
Let's see. Poison Ivy from the Batman animated series.
Yeah.
Are we talking like sexy thoughts as an adult or sexy thoughts as a...
Either.
I'd say sexy thoughts as a young person, even though I don't think I knew what sexy thoughts were, but the equivalent at that age.
How about She-Ra? I always like She-Ra.
From He-Man? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see now. Just that style, those eyes where they're stylized, that is pretty sexy. Mm-hmm. But I think that was a little bit before me.
She's got Hep C, though.
Oh, I liked April O'Neil.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That yellow jumpsuit. Mm-hmm. But you think that, I don't know if she'd be that great to be around if she's always wearing it.
And also, strangely, Master Splinter. He kind of did it for me. I'm into furries.
Yeah.
I liked Krang.
He's into squishies. Yeah. Brian is, I guess.
I think I saw a YouTube clip about the sexual tension between Shredder and Krang.
Yeah, I think I have too, actually. I think I have seen that video.
That was funny.
Yeah.
There really is something going on there because they bicker like an old couple.
Yeah.
But they respect each other. And I think one day one of them is going to assert their dominance over the other sexually, like a prison rape style.
And it's going to be pretty gooey. Because Krang
the secret
is
of
a
the
soft,
ooze?
squishy guy.
The secret of the ooze.
That's the secret of the ooze right there, yeah. Okay, Brian is a zombie and you have to kill him. Any remorse?
No, because he's not the Brian I knew.
Yoga levitation. Okay, hold on. Yoga levitation by Hindu swamis. Possible?
Not in my book.
Astral projection. Dangerous or necessary?
Extremely necessary.
Favorite Ghostbuster?
Bill Murray's the only one that's coming to my head, so I'll say Bill Murray.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years older.
That's it?
I wanted to go for the extremely cop-out answers, despite you, Owen.
You won't see yourself on a desert island.
No.
With Lulu.
Actually,
on your headphones.
If I'm completely honest with myself, and this might be one of those really cliche answers of a young person, but I can't really see myself at 35. I see myself dead at maybe 30.
That is so romantic.
But not in a romantic... Like, I don't mean it in a romantic sense. I just can't...
You mean it in a depressing, pathetic sense?
A little bit between the two.
Okay.
Like, in a very normal, like...
Dead from what cause?
That's the thing. Sometimes I'll be driving in... This is a little bit off
Well,
tangent.
you don't have a drug habit.
I don't.
You don't really act self-destructive.
But it's one of those acts of, like, weird... unfortunate coincidence that kills you.
Oh, so you think you'll be killed by a freak accident?
Yeah, and it's kind of I guess it is a little more depressing, but
does it run in the family to be afraid of freak accidents?
No, it's not so much that I'm afraid of it, that I just foresee that coming. Okay, yeah, because it's one of those things that you read in the newspaper.
So you have a paranormal gut instinct.
Yeah, towards freak accidents.
Okay.
I see myself
freak accidents.
I see myself in like a really, really dirty apartment or like a roach motel type of thing, in the bathroom smoking a cigarette, crying on the floor. In 10 years.
That's beautiful. And I will
listening to Elliott Smith.
Yeah. And then I stab myself in the heart.
and I will be right next to you, choking on a
Choking your chicken.
with the hat of the United States Postal Service on my shoulder.
And as you're doing that, committing suicide, I'll be calling by cell phone, trying to prank call you as Gene from Calabasas.
Yeah. Or Tristan.
What do you mean?
Wait a minute, did I just give away a secret? Oh my word.
Hey,
You've
you know,
changed, Owen.
the listeners, there are people. We're all as one.
Okay.
There are no secrets.
Yeah, we'll throw you that bone, you know. Sometimes Easter eggs are fun.
Hey, I've seen some of our listeners. You out there? I'll throw you a bone.
Is it because they're attractive?
No, it's because they're
Wait, when
gonna
you say
get it, but I'm gonna give it.
We'll put an echo on that in post.
Post cereal?
Yeah, or what are some other brands?
General Mills?
Mm-hmm.
Supermarket?
Hey, what was your favorite cereal?
Oh, man.
In the
Cocoa
morning,
Crisp. No. What's the one with
you're squeezing it in before school.
Yeah, definitely. That's the only way to do it.
We're still talking about cereal, right? Squeezing it in.
With Squeeze-Its, those juice drinks.
Yeah.
Those were pretty
Those
cool.
were discontinued.
They were.
Wait, which ones
unfortunately.
were Squeeze-Its? Were those like straws that had stuff in them?
No, they were these bottles that had weird faces on them.
they were like Go-Gurts.
No, they were a real like viscous drink, and but they had this really
We're still
weird.
talking
What was the
about-
viscosity on that drink?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do you remember Dunkaroos?
The name sounds familiar, but
And they were these kangaroo-shaped graham crackers that you would
Yes,
dip
I
into
do remember
chocolate
those.
sauce, but
Yeah.
not quite sauce. It was more fudge-like.
yeah, it was definitely a fudge like. Those were good. I used to
Yeah.
have those a lot.
But I just remember the commercial with the Australian guy. Dunkaroos, Dunkaroos. Brian, how's it going?
Man, not so well because I'm paying attention. I'm trying to be active here while
Right.
I'm
You don't have
writing.
to have too many questions. I only have 6.
Well, you
Well, I'm
can't.
the beast.
Yeah, but be a beast.
Okay.
Don't be someone that makes excuses.
The problem is you
I'm
can't
gonna
quite.
be the cheese. The big cheese.
You have to multitask.
My leg's falling asleep.
Have you noticed that, at least it seems to me, that women claim to be able to multitask more so than men?
I've never
And
heard
I'm
that claim.
convinced that no one knows how to multitask, and it's actually impossible.
Yeah, I actually had a professor once that he said that multitaskers are actually multi-failers.
Mm-hmm.
And I've
Exactly.
always thought about that when I've been, even just walking and using my phone or something.
Mm-hmm.
Am I really giving my full attention to either?
Right.
And you'd want to give full attention to walking.
Have you ever texted while driving?
Yeah, I think everyone has, if they're truly honest with themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't you like it how when you're at a light and you look over and someone is just staring at their lap?
Yeah, it's a dead giveaway.
And their lap is glowing.
Well,
They have a radioactive
Sometimes-
crotch.
sometimes I just like looking at my wiener when I'm at the stoplight.
Yeah,
And you actually have a glowing wiener. There's no
Yeah.
phone there.
and it
Yeah,
glows
well,
for like
that's the
5
secret of
seconds at a
the-
time.
It's the secret of the use.
It glows for 5 seconds at a time, and then it goes off, and then it glows for 5 more seconds at a
Yeah,
time.
yeah. There's a timer on
Yeah,
my
definitely.
ooze.
On your oos.
You asked Pat all the questions you could ask him, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm finished.
Okay. Well,
Anything
I
that
guess I don't.
Owen would have ever asked me, he has asked tonight.
All right.
Yeah, the closing question was, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, I wrote down like 10, so let's just keep going here. So you can ask whatever you can.
Okay, lightning round for Bryant. Here we go. 1, 2,
Come
3. Worst Jolly Rancher flavor?
Oh man, I really like all Jolly Rancher flavors, but I think there was a lime one that wasn't very good.
Jolliest Rancher in Argentina?
Jolliest Rancher in Argentina. That would be Pueblo.
Will the Pope retire or die in office?
Both.
Would you trade dreams with Clive Barker?
Well, I'm already like probably one of the gayest straight men alive. So it's whether I want to go full homo or not.
With studded leather all over the place.
But I think I would rather switch dreams with the dude from Judas Priest, Rob Halford.
Best movie with a female hero?
I like Ripley. Alien or Aliens, that's pretty good.
Worse, Ayn Rand lovers or Ayn Rand haters?
I prefer to know people that have never read any Ayn Rand or heard of her.
And so they don't even know to say negatively or
Yeah, I'd
positively.
rather meet those people.
I hope there's blank in heaven.
Bon Iver.
But his voice is already so angelic. It's like we're in heaven.
Trumpets and mixed CDs from Spin.
You can speak 2 foreign languages. What are they?
That's a good question. I like that one.
Esperanto and Turkish.
Patrick, you like the question. Answer it.
I actually would like to go with 2 languages that would possibly get me a job. So maybe Chinese and Spanish.
Okay. And while we're at it, I would like to know Hebrew and French. More fucked up post-war country, Japan or Germany?
I'd have to go with Japan for sure. Are we talking about economics or social, habitual, just the
just
people?
the societal health of those people.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Japan. They all kill themselves and they have really weird porn. Germany has some pretty weird porn, but
They are sadomasochists.
At least Germany watches human porn. You know what I mean?
good
Like
point.
Japan makes cartoon porn.
Okay, Morticia Addams or Lily Munster?
Which one's Morticia?
That's the wife
the
on
mom?
Adam's Family. Yeah,
And then the other one was
Lily Munster is the wife of Herman Munster.
I think I'd go with Lily.
Okay. Okay, last question. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Get ready. Could you fix Fiona Apple?
I don't know why this is completely out of nowhere, but for some reason I just had a Space Harrier flashback. Get ready. Oh, Terrence, if you're listening, you get that one. I would take Fiona Apple to the fantasy zone.
So that's your way of saying you would fix her?
Yeah, we would be so happy flying around on jetpacks, fighting dragons, and also like that big stonehead guy.
She doesn't strike me as a fantasy nerd. She strikes me as a drug
Shut up.
addict.
Shut up right now.
I honestly
you
thought
ever.
Brian was going to respond with, "I wouldn't fix her. She's perfect." But you let me down.
She's a perfect drug addict.
I kind of answered it sort of.
Yeah,
Because we'd be happily ever after in the fantasy zone.
That's true. Did she?
Like never-ending story.
Yeah.
Did she just get a recent drug conviction?
She did. She was in either Arizona or Nevada.
Yeah, she was busted for weed.
No, it was
Weed,
hashish.
Well, it's the same thing.
Well, I thought hashish was slightly more potent.
Well, it's just... Yeah, but it's just...
But
weed.
apparently that area is famous for stinging celebrities.
Yeah, because that's
Okay, I did hear
where
about
Willie got busted.
Yeah, and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, and Willie and Snoop are like, they're homies.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think a town would want to advertise that? Especially one that welcomes rock stars through it.
Mm-hmm.
They'd say, "We bust drug addicts better than anyone
They
else."
welcome you to the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
I think it's really just an indication that the police there are extremely bored.
Yeah.
Ridiculously bored.
And they probably played on the same high school football team together.
You know, I really thought that with the arrest of Pee-wee back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
That they just made it a cause celeb. You know?
Fred
They
Willard?
just wanted to sting him.
Did you hear about Fred Willard?
That was the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you expect to be going down in an adult
Exactly.
theater?
Exactly.
Wait, Fred Willard was in an adult theater?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fairly recent.
Huh.
It just.
And, they get him for indecent exposure or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I would wonder, is everyone in the theater arrested as well?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like, unless his indecent exposure was beyond the
Yeah,
realm
like if
of
he was like
normal
standing
indecent
up in his
exposure.
seat or something.
Yeah. But why are the police in a porn theater looking for people who are masturbating?
Yeah. That's like going to, volunteering to live at the Manson household and saying, oh my God, this guy just killed somebody.
Yeah.
It's
Or what if
futile.
you're like supposed to patrol a San Francisco bathhouse?
Yeah.
And you're like, now you guys don't have sex now, because that's gross, and we'll arrest you if you do it.
Hey, isn't sodomy still against the law?
No.
The biblical law.
No,
is the one
I
that
thought, but wasn't that a law like for at least 100 years or more? I thought it was still a law.
I wouldn't doubt it's a law
No.
somewhere in some city.
Yeah,
off
I
the
guess
beaten
it
track.
varies from state to state. Yeah, it's not a federal law.
Well,
Wow.
I guess
How do we segue from here?
Well, we just got to move into another lightning round.
shall I do mine?
But the truth is, you would be able to fix Fiona Apple.
No, because she's perfect the way she is.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
And so is Bon Iver.
So speaking of music, which non-musician celebrity over the age of 50 should start a band, and what kind of band would it be?
Over 50?
Yes. So no one like Johnny Depp age. Has to be older.
Non-musician celebrity.
Okay.
Did you say non-musician
Yes.
celebrity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I say Jeff Goldblum? I mean, I know
Yes.
that he plays piano.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'll make the question to include that they can play an instrument, but they're not really known
Okay.
for their music.
Well, I'll say Jeff Goldblum.
Okay. And what kind of band would it be?
A jazz band.
Uh-huh.
And, he plays with RoboCop, Peter Weller. Peter
Wow.
Weller is a horn player.
Really?
Yeah, I think he plays trumpet.
The things that you learn.
Or maybe sax. But they would be...
Does he play as RoboCop?
I would pay to see Jeff Goldblum and RoboCop in a band. That would be awesome.
That would be cool. And a RoboCop sax?
I
Right.
would love to see Ed Harris as the lead singer of a punk band like Black Flag.
Ed Harris right now.
Yeah, like Pollock,
man.
just screaming.
Singing White Minority.
Because Ed Harris, he's a really good, serious actor. Like he would play it up.
Yeah, he'd throw himself into it.
Yeah, he would commit.
How about William Hurt in a prog band?
That is a good fit as well.
He was in Altered States. Did you ever see that one?
No.
I think that was by... Who's the crazy Canadian director who deals with all the subterranean Freudian psychology? He did Videodrome.
Oh, Cronenberg.
Cronenberg. I think it was a Cronenberg movie.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I could see a...
And guess what he did? How's this for thematic? He went down to the Amazon because he was this crazy professor, kind of like Timothy Leary.
Oh.
And he wanted to see what the shamans were up to.
Wow.
And so he would take these psychedelics because he wanted to discover the truth about, life's mysteries. And
Do I smell a concept album? Very good. I enjoyed both your answers.
Okay.
Second question, actually also about music. If modern country music was used medicinally to treat depression, what would the results be? I stumped you both.
These are deep questions.
Yeah.
Wait, one more time. Let me hear it.
If modern country music was used medicinally to treat depression, what would the results be?
It depends what kind of country music it is. Is this Woody Guthrie? Is this
Modern
Trisha
country
Yearwood?
music. Trisha.
Oh, modern. Okay.
Yeah, Trisha Yearwood.
Toby Keith?
Yeah.
Well, I think that also depends on your background. Like, if you were born and raised in Tennessee, this is great stuff.
Yeah.
I think the
It's
result
medicinal.
would be happy drinking instead of angry drinking.
Yes. I actually tend to agree. Okay.
You tend to agree, but not fully.
Well, as Owen said, it depends.
It varies.
It varies. Walk me through the process of folding your process of folding a long sleeve button-up shirt.
Oh.
So
Nightmare.
which sleeve goes first? Which way do you fold?
Right. I don't know.
I don't fold button-ups. I hang them up.
I actually
So,
put them. I run them through the Office Max shredder. That's what I do to my shirts.
Is there a consensus on Christina Ricci?
No, she is a very controversial figure.
Yeah.
As an actress, not so great, and by looks alone, not so great.
Brian, care to chime in?
You know what? She's like a mutant. That sounds so mean, but she is like a mutant Winona Ryder. It's like you made her into a golem. You took Winona Ryder and you turned her into a little golem,
Like the clay, and you just kind of like teased it out a little more than
with
you
like
needed
none
to.
of the sex appeal.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I'm just impartial. Just 50-50. I don't know. It's just whatever.
Is the smell of gasoline really so bad? Bad for you, yes, but bad in general?
No, I actually really like the smell of it.
Yeah.
I love it when I'm behind like an old car and I can smell all of the the burning fuel and.
In fact, that should be an Axe body spray smell.
Yeah, gasoline. I think it's just
That's
I don't
an
know.
insanely manly smell.
I think that's
that'd
what
be
it
money.
ignites. It ignites the manliness.
You know,
in your-
sometimes
in your
when I
brain.
Car
smell
engine
that,
inside all of us.
Yeah.
I think about our childhood where we were at the go-kart track at Malibu Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And we would smell that gasoline in the air.
And also the armpit odor in the arcade while playing Mercs. By the way, did you see that dedicated Mercs cabinet I found at eBay?
It just
That
blew my mind.
That thing's a beast. That thing's amazing.
And to complete the whole experience, if you ever did buy it and bring it home, you'd have to like rub it down with pizza.
Yeah.
So that there's pizza grease on
But
the
like
joystick.
bad pizza, really
Yeah.
bad pizza. Not even good stuff.
And then you'll feel like you're 10 again.
That thing was like $250, dog.
Speaking of food, your reaction when you realized M&Ms do melt in your mouth and your hand.
Cheated. I felt cheated.
Yeah.
Complacent.
Completion.
That means complete complacence.
Wow.
Complacent.
You held that.
I also feel like Confucius.
Was that the last one?
Yes, that was the last one.
Okay.
And that completes my
That
running
wasn't very monumental at all.
Well, those were some serpentine questions. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, they had some twists and turns.
like Axl Rose dancing.
Okay. These are really deep.
I would like to say, Christina Ricci, I do love you, and I appreciate that your career is going somewhere, and you're a fine young lady.
She has stuck around.
She has.
And
Yeah.
she's not looking as haggard as Macaulay Culkin.
And I masturbated twice to you in that movie with Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Casper.
That was the joke of the show right there. That was good.
Oh, man.
That was unexpected. I like that. No, it was called Black Snake Moan.
Black Snake movie.
Yeah.
Echo on
Now,
that.
did that movie make your white snake moan?
That was the joke of the show. Damn it.
Or your pink snake moan?
Man.
What was the question? Oh, no, you haven't even asked the
I
question.
haven't even asked the question. There was just
Man, it was already awesome.
You guys were on a roll there. Okay.
You always got to crinkle the paper.
I have it folded up here.
Yeah, unfurl.
Okay. The color of your aura.
Cyan.
A dark turquoise.
Well, cyan and dark turquoise are quite similar.
Well, we
have a certain harmony going
do.
on. Yeah.
We do. We made jokes right after each other.
Yeah.
Mine is like a neon turquoise.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're just different shades
Yeah.
of that particular
No, I've
color.
already thought about my color.
Owen and I are
I'm
the
surprised.
interior
of the strip club, and you are the neon sign of the strip club.
Yeah, because like I've thought about this before, and I'm surprised by your answer.
Really?
Well, maybe I
Yeah.
should change my answer to yellow.
Actually,
Yellow and turquoise look good because those are like Easter colors.
yeah, that's true.
I would think that you're like a brown.
I was thinking an orange. Now that I think
Yeah, you
about
are
it.
pretty rustic.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be brown or burnt sienna? You can split the difference.
sienna.
That is a good. That is a good color. I like that name.
Your spirit animal.
I like aquatic creatures, so I'm going to say a rhinoceros,
Wow, that's
which isn't an aquatic creature.
that's the joke.
I was waiting for you guys to react to that.
Well, it
You
wasn't
didn't.
that fun.
Oh, okay. I just wanted some reaction. See, I was on a desert island.
I'm still
listening to.
I was
Lulu.
thinking of my spirit animal.
No, truly. Let's see. I like sort of equine animals. I like a deer or a ram. I would be like a goat.
But does that explain? Like, does that like do you relate to those animals?
Yeah. Whenever I go to the LA Zoo, and they have the petting zoo, I'm more interested in the petting zoo than anything else because I like donkeys and goats.
Okay.
Have you ever seen up close a goatee on a goat? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
It's it's
And they
hard
don't
to
even
imagine how
trim
they get
those.
it. Yeah, exactly. How
Yeah.
they get it like that.
Yeah, no grooming or anything.
So
Did
what's
you say?
what's your final answer?
I would say a ram.
Okay.
For some reason,
Oh, but actually my sign is Cancer, so I'm a crab.
And you do like crab.
I do like crabs. I like crustaceans and aquatic creatures.
I think a prairie dog, just because he's a people watcher. I went to the zoo and they love looking at people, and they're smaller, which I'm smaller than both of you. So
Yeah.
maybe that's my spirit animal.
And they enjoy being underground.
Yeah,
And you like being in the shadows.
Yeah, and underground. But I'm not a hipster, and neither are they.
And do they read Proust?
Neither
in their
do
little
I.
subterranean home?
They might have it in their library.
Kafka.
Yes, they have read Kafka.
Okay.
You're excused.
Well, wait a minute. I didn't know who Percy Shelley is, so I'm not that literate.
I think mine would
No,
be...
wait a minute. Actually, the doctor. Let me let me explain. The doctor didn't know who Percy Shelley was. I was not in this room during that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just discovered Owen's split personality disorder. We apologize for letting that air.
What do you think about Percy Sledge?
He was a pretty cool guy.
Anyways, my spirit animal would either be a squirrel
Ah, squirrel, that's a good one.
or I like beavers.
Because they're hardworking.
Well, I mean, they're hands-on creatures. They like building stuff.
You
And
do.
And I like doing that too.
My spirit, my spirit celebrity is Oprah Winfrey.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You are...
Patrick, your spirit celebrity?
Well, first, you're going to buy dinner for us because you got millions.
I said spirit celebrity. I didn't say I am literally that person.
So but you have to have some wealth, like, it's like amazing.
Great spiritual wealth. I have internal, cerebral, and heart-oriented wealth.
That's true. Well, I'm going to stick by you then, because
My
you need friends like that in life.
my spirit celebrity is probably Tom Selleck.
How about Tom Skerritt?
That'd be funny, like, because nobody knows who Tom Skerritt is. Nobody remembers Tom
How about Ed
Skerritt.
Harris?
Yeah, Ed Harris, right?
In a punk band.
Dude,
have to have
Ed
that.
Harris in a punk band like Black Flag, that's intense.
Yeah.
Because I know he would tear his shirt off.
You know, if anyone could kick Henry Rollins' ass, it's Ed Harris in a
Yeah,
punk band.
Ed
Really?
Yeah.
I would not count him out.
Yeah, man, Ed Harris, he's always he's a really, really down and dirty Mick. He's dirty Mick, like Pat over here.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
true.
did you answer, Pat?
I'm trying to think, what would be my... Because...
Michael Clark Duncan, I think, for you.
So I'm dead? I'm
He
spiritually
watches
dead.
over you like a guardian angel.
Or through me, like the Green Mile, which he was this major star in.
I would say your spirit celebrity is Christina Ricci.
Yeah, we are both very petite.
Yeah.
And
Or Christina Hendricks.
There we go. A mix of both.
Or
Is it okay to want to have sex with your spirit animal or spirit celebrity?
That's the only way to be.
Next question.
Just me and Oprah, man.
Oh, damn.
All right, next question. Anal play.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Jump by Van Halen.
Not as much of a breakthrough as people like to say it was.
I think it's a ton of fun, and I turn it up every time I hear it.
It is a fun song.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
McDonald's.
I'm a fan because it's just one of those things that it's so saturated that it's almost wound right back around to being underground.
Whoa. It's reversed on itself.
That's intense.
I would say best fries in all of fast fooddom.
Yeah, and the thing is they're so puny, but they're so good.
Mm-hmm.
They feel so nice between your teeth. I hear this echo in my head. and
So
yeah, it's almost like you're on ayahuasca.
yeah,
So puny, yet so good. I can't get over that.
Yeah, kind of like Christina Ricci. So
Ricci.
puny.
she leeches onto me.
Or she is so puny, but so good.
That's true.
Have you ever heard of Christina Nietzsche? She's just the granddaughter. The McFillet.
Well, Christina Ricci is when you're in a swamp and she lashes onto you out of nowhere as a crazy parasite.
Yep.
The McFillet.
An imaginary sandwich that is a true product of the Pran and Bat podcast hour.
And it has a very sanguine taste, I would say.
Terrence McKenna.
I'm trying to think who that is.
Yeah, me too.
He was not a cosmonaut, but he did drugs and wrote about it.
Oh.
And like he was kind of like Leary, Timothy Leary.
No
a little
opinion.
bit.
I'm not too big of a fan of Timothy Leary, so if this is like a second-rate Timothy Leary, then there you go.
Well, he's not second rate. He's up there, you know, like
Well,
he was also an occultist, I'm pretty sure.
He's no William Hurt in a prog band.
that's true.
Or Harris. Black metal.
The only black metal I've heard is through you, and I guess, yeah.
I would say it's amusing for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then you move on.
Johnny Rotten.
Just saw him in a butter commercial, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, he has gone completely
That's
capitalistic businessman.
That's gone punk right there. That's Public Image Limited.
I do respect the guy, but then I remember I saw an interview with him right after the Sex Pistols broke up, and he was talking about how the Sex Pistols were supposed to destroy rock and roll, and that was his big issue. Which, obviously, I think Pill actually is more productive in that manner.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine a more rock and roll sound, or just generically rock and roll sounding record than Nevermind the Bullocks. So
Yeah.
I think that was a big failure in terms of destroying rock and roll. But I do like Johnny Rotten.
I don't know what
Johnny
all the
Lydon.
fuss is about that album. I've actually never really heard it in depth.
Yeah. Well, Captain Sensible from The Damned once said that if you would have put the Steve Jones guitar and put someone, what's his name from Bad Company? Paul Rogers, over the top of it, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Really?
And I think that's true.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So much for destroying rock and roll.
Yeah.
Danzig.
On a personal level, extremely amusing. His music to me isn't really that eventful.
Are you talking about Misfits or are you talking about his solo?
Either. Well, actually, Misfits is better music.
Yeah, I agree. His solo stuff is, as Owen said about black metal, amusing for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then
Yeah,
it's just
but if
kinda
you
sad.
actually wanted to hang out with him, that would be fun, I think.
Yeah.
Because he probably has a bunch of...
I think that would be amusing for 5 minutes.
Really? Well, I mean, what about...
I don't think he would allow the situation.
He
to
seems
be,
to lack a sense of humor. You mean?
Yeah, I think
he does seem to lack.
I
a sense
think
of
it
humor.
would just be a challenge. It'd be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
And like you would want it to be a fun conversation.
Yeah.
And he would just be way too serious and want to talk about, you know, like his stupid occult books or something.
Demonology.
And it's one of those things where he's one of those people that you think, oh, if I went to meet him, I'd want to. I just think, what would I talk to him about? You know, coming in with my experiences, like there would be no common ground to jump off from.
And I'd be like, hey man, I do want to talk about Azazel, the fallen angel. And he would be
Lovecraft.
surprised because it's like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be the only one fascinated by this. This is
Get out of my limo.
This is not a two-way street. I'm supposed to tell you about Azazel, and you're supposed to just listen quietly.
So you'd out alpha male Glenn Danzig. That's
no, I would out nerd him.
That's a pretty ballsy move. But you're up to it, and you would be towering over him.
Yeah, I know.
He would actually be jerking off to your knowledge. Favorite male porn star?
They're not really spotlighted enough, I think. But there's definitely people that you recognize that you've seen in multiple different scenes.
Well, I think the absolute worst are the guys who totally pile drive the women.
Yeah.
You know, the exceedingly aggressive
Well,
guys are horrible to watch.
Tell me your favorite. His favorite male porn star.
I don't know. I guess the classic would be Holmes, right? What was his first name?
John
Holmes. Let's go with John Holmes.
Okay.
My answer is the one that looks most like me, whoever that is.
I'm going to go with Lexington Steele.
He is...
And he's the face of the
pod-
podcast.
Yeah, the podcast.
Longtime listener and never time caller.
Yeah.
But full-time supporter.
Yeah, we need to get him on
Full-time
here.
supporter.
In the spiritual sense, as is...
Yeah.
Maybe... Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Lexington Steele with Christina Ricci.
Ooh.
He would split her like a piece of timber.
That would be a black snake.
Well, that video is floating around on the internet somewhere.
Poor Christina.
If you had to be addicted to one drug, which one?
That's actually one of the main reasons why I've never done drugs, because I feel like I have an addictive personality and I would just probably do it until I was dead. So, whatever it was.
I guess cocaine.
That's not an answer. See, that's an answer.
I'll say cocaine.
See, that's an answer.
Because with cocaine, you always feel so ridiculously confident that feeling would have to be quite invigorating. I see why people get addicted to that feeling, because think about Rick James and what a macho butthole he was. And to be a crazy macho butthole all the time
half of
would
it
be
was the
quite
pants,
fun.
though. Half of it was the pants.
Where he would just slap you out of nowhere, you know. But that kind of behavior it has a certain appeal.
But I think, like, you have that in you the whole time. It just brings it out of you. So conversely, I would go with the economic choice and say the cheapest, which would probably be marijuana. Because...
Or meth?
Is meth... Yeah, I guess...
I think meth is cheaper
Yeah.
than weed.
Because...
Weed's kind of expensive.
I guess it depends on who you talk to. Brian?
It depends on your dealer.
Yeah,
I think I would do heroin. That's the classic life-ruining drug.
Now,
All-star. That's the all-star.
Would you come at it from a jazz musician angle or from a rock star angle?
I think... Jazz guys are more productive.
Right.
Well, I don't know. The Rolling Stones, pretty productive.
Yeah.
I think I'd go rock star. I think
it's not a social drug.
They both sound appealing though, because like with the jazz heroin addict, you get the seclusion, and they're like in their apartment.
So you just want to draw the shades.
Yeah, and then they just wander into the club when they need to. All right, man, let's do this, bro. Let's get a little bit of... But the rockstar thing is kind of cool because you're always surrounded by other people doing drugs, so you get that communal vibe.
Yes.
And then you're always all over the place. You're flying all over the world. And
heroin is not about being social. Heroin is for
but the
loners.
heroin rock star, I guess it depends, but I think you'd be more inclined to party, whereas the heroin jazz
You just
guy,
turn into a drooling pile of slop,
Yeah.
and you're no fun to be around.
And just the fact that you have to like carry all these accessories around with you to do heroin, unless you were just
There isn't the portability of cocaine.
yeah.
Because you know there are apparati.
Yeah.
Well,
If is that the plural for
Yeah.
apparatus?
yeah, it
apparatuses?
probably- yeah. Octopus, octopi.
well, I
no,
remember
octopodes.
seeing, I think it was Charlie Parker, this documentary in his saxophone case.
Oh man.
There was like a built-in secret heroin compartment. It was pretty cool. It was
If you
like-
could find that on eBay,
but it looked
that
like
would
it
be
was,
awesome.
but it looked like it was made by somebody, like by hand, by like a leathersmith or something like that. You know, like it had
A
it was
tanner.
this beautiful, like amazingly well-made heroin kit.
Wow.
Well,
Um,
if you get that heavy into
Well,
it.
when you're one of the top jazz musicians, you can afford deluxe items like that.
all right, so there's one more.
Okay, here we go.
I feel like I've been on heroin through these lightning rounds.
December 21st.
Oh, that's the
That's the end of the Mayan calendar.
yeah.
It's the beginning of something new, and whether it's exceedingly negative or very positive, we shall see.
Business as usual.
Yeah.
Your own gut's instinct.
I think it's the beginning of the end, except it never truly ends.
It never is over.
Here we go again.
It's everything is cyclical. It just keeps going, man.
The word cyclical. How many times? Like that is like the go-to word for any discussion on anything, really. Arts, sports.
Thanks for calling me trite.
No, I hey, I am a user, man. I'm the pusher man.
You're the pusher man.
Pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Well, I don't mean to cut things short, but we're pretty over an hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, we had that experiment in the beginning,
Yeah. Right.
of which I was in no way a part.
And thank God, because I think you would have been a little frightened knowing.
Okay, all right. Thank you for saving me from that.
frightened.
I didn't sound weird.
Be a little bit frightened.
Christina Ricci, by the way.
Christina Nietzsche.
Christina Nietzsche.
So, any parting words, gentlemen?
It was a terrific experience. I am experienced. I consider myself experienced. And Jimi Hendrix was a profound influence on my life, and presently is. This moment.
I'm just glad we made it, man. It looks like we've made it.
I think my final words are you